here with Karl Norman. Karl, thank you for talking to us. Can you share with us a little bit about your magic life? Share some stories.
Magic life?
Yes, magical life, yes.
Well, I was born very young.
Very young. How young?
Very young. So it was till I was 9 years old, I guess, that I began to be interested in magic. I saw magicians perform at school assemblies, that sort. Then Thurston came to town with this big magic show, this illusion show, and I fell in love with him. I was a type of guy I would like to have for a father. I remember walking into the little Erlanger Theater, a small theater in Buffalo, about a 1,000-seat theater, not too big. From the ceiling was hanging a trunk on pulleys and ropes. Halfway through the show, he would put a girl into a stage cannon, pointed at the trunk at the ceiling of the theater, big bang. Then they would, with the pulleys, bring the trunk down, open it up, and the girl would appear, seemingly having been at the top of the theater for half of the show.
Wow.
I think it was some kind of fakery there.
How old were you?
How old am I?
No, how old were you at that time?
Oh, well, probably 20, between 20 and 25. I don't remember precisely.
And tell us, how old are you now?
Well, last I remember, I was 73.
Last you remember you were 73.
Yeah, last I recall.
That's good. And how long ago was that?
Well, if I live long enough, it'll be tomorrow.
Oh, that's awesome. That's good.
Yes, I'm 73 years old. I've had 4 wives. One of them was my own.
That's awesome. Who else was your? Who else did you like in magic world?
Well, not too many years ago, probably 10 or 12 years ago, Tom Mullica had a small club down south, and he did the most amazing evening show. I consider Tom Mullica to be one of the greatest close-up magicians alive. He's no longer doing magic. He's doing a Red Skelton show, which he's very successful at. But it's hard to say who was the best. Al Goshman was probably the best in a particular act. His salt and pepper shaker with the coins and 2 girls, just a fantastic routine. But there are many. My favorite of all times, probably the most versatile stand-up parlor-type magician, was Jay Marshall. Just standing up in front of a TV camera. He was on the Ed Sullivan Show, I think, 27 times. Each time doing a different routine and doing each of them very, very well. So he's probably the most versatile stand-up magician. I knew him for many, many years. Who else? Oh, I could go on and on.
What are your thoughts about David Copperfield? You know, he's a modern magician, famous illusionist.
David Copperfield, I never appreciated him as much as I should have, perhaps. I knew him from the time he was about 15 or 16 years old. Met him at the Tannen Jubilees. and he was doing wonderful magic then. Then I discovered that he had put his whole life into this. He had studied music, he studied dancing, he'd studied acting, he took any kind of classes to improve himself in the presentation of his magic. It sure has paid off. Probably made the most money of anybody connected with magic. Wonderful. So,
Yeah, you work at a famous Forks Hotel, right? For a couple of years, is that right?
couple of years. Yeah, I met Eddie when he came home from his years of service, and we became very close friends.
Eddie
And
Factor, right?
Eddie Factor, yep. And I spent well over 50 years, I guess, with Eddie, from his original travels as a bar magician. Worked several places around Buffalo, and finally decided he wanted to have his own bar, and opened a now famous, but out of commission, the famous Forks Hotel. So I performed there for about 40 years as a bar magician. So he and I have a long history.
It's awesome. All those cars in the ceiling at Forks were yours, right? Yeah.
Well, I started that kind of as my trademark, and I did it over and over and over. Finally, they wanted to paint the ceiling, so they pulled down all the cards, and they counted 700 cards that I had stuck on the ceiling, and I did it several ceiling coverings after that. So that's fabulous, fabulous story. I could tell many stories about card on the ceiling.
That's awesome. Thank you for watching another episode with Karl Norman, Thursdays with Karl Norman. Thank you.